The gentleman from Idaho, Mr. Labrador, is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you, Director, for being here, and thank you for your service. I was a criminal defense attorney, and I'm a little bit confused by the answer from the administration about the Rosen investigation. It seems to me that how many times as an FBI director or as an attorney or in your law enforcement practice have you had the opportunity to investigate somebody who you did not intend to prosecute?
Well, as I said before, that happens all the time. I mean,
no, the question is I want to be very specific about this. Okay. Not that you don't prosecute after the investigation, because that's the purpose of the investigation, is to find out if you need to prosecute somebody, but to actually look into people's private information, private communications, who you don't intend to prosecute. Do you understand my specific question?
I think I do, but I think we're maybe we're passing each other because they can be a husband and wife team. They're avoiding taxes.
Correct.
At the outset, you had probable cause to believe that the wife was.
Yeah, but you have probable cause to believe that they're both committing a crime, and then you determine after the investigation that one committed the crime and one did not commit the crime, right?
That's an option, yes.
So tell me how often a prosecutor investigates somebody who is not intended to be prosecuted, that they intend at any time to file charges. Because it seems to me that's much broader than the Fourth Amendment. If that's what prosecutors are doing, then you're going beyond the extent of the Fourth Amendment.
If you're a defense counsel, you know the dialogue between defense counsel and prosecutor as to whether or not the person is going to be prosecuted in terms of testimony.
Correct.
We make a decision day in and day out. We're not going to prosecute a particular person if they are cooperate with us. Now, often we will investigate them for a period of time, then make a decision. The person's better as a cooperator, and consequently, we have no thought about prosecuting them. We want their testimony.
But what this Attorney General said, and what you have said, is that Mr. Rosen was never intended to be prosecuted. I have never heard of an investigation ever where you went after an individual when there was no intention to find out if that person was going to be prosecuted. And that's what I'm having a hard time.
I am not certain I said that because I was not in that position to make that determination.
But that's what the Attorney General said in this committee. He said that there was never.
I'd have to go back and look specifically at what the Attorney General.
But wouldn't you think that would be inappropriate then to go after somebody that you don't intend to ever prosecute? Because that has been the excuse of this administration. I'm having a hard time with that excuse.
I'd have to give thought about that, but I do think there are a number of occasions as a prosecutor where we have the ability, the capability, maybe the intent at the outset, and then we make a determination for whatever reasons, whether we want the cooperation or other things, where we make a determination that we're not going to go forward.
And I agree with you.
There are competing interests.
When you make a determination after the investigation has occurred. But the problem with the Rosen subpoena and the problem that we have with this investigation is that Mr. Rosen was never intended to be prosecuted, according to the Attorney General. So this was a fishing expedition, something that I think went beyond the Fourth Amendment, which wasn't necessary. So they had to go around shopping for different judges who would actually approve of this subpoena.
Well, I don't perceive it as being a fishing expedition at all. As I indicated previously, in these investigations, you focus on, the FBI, the Justice Department, focus on the leaker from the federal government. That's a person who we want to identify and to ultimately prosecute. To do that, we have to show that the information went from this person to the person who ultimately published it. And as part of the investigation, you gather facts in terms of how that information got from the individual who had the security or had the...
But when you go to the judge, you tell the judge that you're intending to prosecute this person, that this person has violated the law in some way, or you have reasonable suspicion to believe that this person has violated the law. How often have you, as a law enforcement officer, submitted a subpoena to a judge saying that you suspect somebody violated the law when you had no intention to ever prosecute that person? You didn't think that your investigation was going to lead to the prosecution of that person.
I'd have to think about it, but under those circumstances, the way you say them, I have to think about it.
Okay.